What's up, dude?
Hey, how's it going?
It's going okay. Llama talk. Okay, so let's just get right into the episode. Just not mess around at all. What did you think about the last episode of Survivor? We're a few days late, but we can still recap it, and we still have a lot of great insights. So what did you think, Jack? Jeremy going
Um,
home.
what did I think of Survivor Gabon 2? Um, hmm, it, I mean, it was great. I liked it. I liked it a lot. I was bummed. I was bummed, that Jeremy went home because I really wanted to see. I really expected more from him, because like he seemed like such a good player when both him and Josh were in the game. Like they seemed like the best players there. And to me, it really knocked him down a few pegs when it's like, oh, he can't even like really control his own game and stuff. But I
Yeah,
thought
it's
it was
definitely
overall,
he's definitely very, very lucky for getting the edit he did get for going out 10th.
hmm
You know, he
yeah,
has he's lucky because basically now he's playing for he's very good chance of being on his second season, and so does Josh, and that's basically just because the producers saw that okay, there's nothing going on here except for a kind of Jeremy Josh rivalry, so let's just go all in on that, and they're probably both going to get second seasons out of it.
hmm yeah. I would be pumped to see them both on for another season. Like both of them, I'm really excited to see them play again, along with like Spencer, Vetus, Sierra, just all those. Like they have so many great characters now. I'm really pumped for the next All Stars.
Would you
So
rather have a Heroes versus Villains 2 or straight three tribe all stars? Because I'd rather have a three tribe all stars, like six people in each tribe.
yeah, I'd rather have a three tribe All Stars. I am. I mean, Heroes vs. Villains. I feel like it was great, but I feel like it was like a one-time thing. That's a season to go down in history, and let's leave it at that. The probably the best cast in all of Survivor, and I leave the idea of Heroes vs. Villains alone, and I just like do a new All Stars.
Yeah, and especially because there are some people that like Vetus. I don't can't really tell if he would be a hero or a villain, and Spencer is obviously a hero, but his E game was more like villain.
Yeah.
It's hard. I feel like All Stars would be better. Do you think that's going to happen for Survivor 32? Maybe we know 30 is not going to be All Stars. So
Mhm.
do you think for 32? Oh Jesus Christ!
Oh, God bless you. God bless you.
Yep. Do you think that's going to happen for 32 or maybe 34, 36, or 33 or
Uh,
35? I don't know.
I don't know. Jeff seems on the new player train right now. I hope like 32, 31, they do an All Stars. That would be awesome. I mean, I think we deserve a really great All Star cast right now. You know, I think they can make a great season out of it. But I don't know.
Okay.
I'd be
Yeah.
content waiting a little bit.
Yes or no?
Yes.
Marty will come back and play Survivor.
I hope. I hope. I want to say yes, just because I'm a believer. Um, but I'm a big fan of Marty. You're a big fan of Marty. Are
Marty,
you a big fan of Marty?
I feel like Marty got a similar. Marty and Brenda, they kind of had similar edits where they were big pre-merge and everybody thought that they were big contenders to win the game. This is very, and you're saying it's like Gabon. I think it's a lot like Nicaragua in the sense where you have the big people like Marty and Brenda who were the powerful people, and then when Marty went out, everyone thought Brenda had it in the bag, and then Brenda goes out right next.
Yeah. I feel I feel it's a lot like Nicaragua, but I also feel it's a lot like Gabon right now. Where it's just we have a lot of players that don't really seem too great I mean, maybe we could have like a Ken and like Missy or something, and like I see like Keith as like a kind of a Bob kind of character, but none of these guys really are like that great, which is weird because pre-merge, like none of the characters are even close to these characters, and these characters aren't even that great. The only two characters that were playing the game were Josh and Jeremy, and
Well,
from what we've seen.
John's been getting a very good edit the whole entire time. I people have been saying that just Josh and Jeremy are getting the winners edit. I feel like John has gotten a definite winners edit. So I feel like Juan goes home next. Then I'll be surprised and I'll start looking towards the Reeds and Missies and other people for possible winners. But at this point, I feel like John playing a pretty good game. But we'll get into whether or not it was a good move for John to do this. Let's just go back to the beginning of the episode. So they come back. Nothing really stood out from the scenes in the next episode, right? It's a whole lot of nonsense. So they come back and Reed is kind of pissed because they voted off Josh. And John says that he felt really bad because he led them on so hard. What do you think about this whole scene with coming back to camp after Tribal?
Well, this right from the beginning, seeing Reed trying to plan his next move, and like kind of the emotion and like he's like not gonna give up, that made me like Reed a whole lot more. Like that little clip is more than nice. That little clip is more I've seen Reed than like the entire season, and we actually get to see Reed as a character this episode, and that was really exciting. But like from John's standpoint, I kind of was annoyed with John. I was like, okay, like you're just like fucking like caring about yourself. Like, oh my god, I feel really bad because I let him on and stuff. It's like, shut up. You're playing the game. Like, shut up. Just play the game. Yeah.
And he didn't let them, like, thing is, like, oh yeah, we really laid it on a lot, but like Josh said that he was like 95% sure that he was going home because John and Jacqueline were such horrible liars.
Yeah.
So it's like they weren't fooling anyone,
Even Jeremy said, like, even this episode we saw Jeremy be like, yeah, I'm going to catch John in a lie because he sucks at lying. John cannot lie for shit.
And even Jeremy was like, yeah, I knew for sure I was going home if Julie didn't quit because it was so obvious that John and Jacqueline were going to vote me out at that.
Yeah.
So then Keith is kind of just pissed off at John and Jacqueline and calls them out for being liars. And he says that he hopes that he can, use his idol to vote someone out. What do you think about Keith this episode? Did you think that his strategy was good? Do you think that there's more he could have done?
I think from Keith's playing style, there really wasn't much more he could have done. I don't think it's ever a good move to want to get people to vote you out just so you can use your idol to vote them out, unless you know for sure you're going to have the numbers if you get one of them out, So I really don't think, I think Keith just wanted to make a little dig at them by getting one of them out with his idol. I don't think he was really thinking, and I'm really glad ultimately he didn't use his idol at the end there. And I mean, the fact that Reed went through Keith's bag in the episode kind of screwed him over. I mean, there wasn't really much Keith could have done.
Well, I think the thing that's good about Keith is that you have people like Jeremy and Josh who are so obviously in everyone's ear and trying to be buddy-buddy with everyone. And the fact that Keith just kind of has this little goon squad with Wes and Alec, and they have it's literally the most ridiculous threesome I've ever seen in the history of the game. They have no idea how to play the game, and they're just it's like they're off just doing their own, getting wood, not doing any strategy, not talking to anyone else, just so oblivious to how to actually play the game. I think it's hilarious, and I think that actually is making Keith less of a threat in the long run. And he still has his idol, and I honestly feel like the only reason why they would vote for him is just to flush out the idol, and then he'll still be safe the next time, you know?
Yeah. I think, I mean, even in the exit, even in the exit interview with Jeremy, Jeff mentioned like, oh yeah, Keith's playing a really good game. You have to watch out for Keith because like, you have to watch out for those people that, oh, we can get him out next week. We don't have to worry about them. But like, Keith's kicking ass at challenges, dude. I'd be worried about him, and
Yeah,
Jeremy was worried about him.
and I was confused after the Survivor Live thing with Jeremy because like he never even like made it clear what the actual voting plan was in any of his exit interviews. Like he kind of made it seem like they were just going to do a straight vote on Keith, which seems like a dumb move when they could split the votes with Reed on their side, and so it makes you question if Keith's move to not play the idol was smart because he had no idea they were going to vote for Jeremy. I feel like Keith thought that they were going to split the votes between Reed and him. So if they throw their 3 votes on Reed, then Reed goes home and keeps the idol, which is smart. But if they were going to do a straight vote on Keith, then Keith would have been screwed.
Yeah. Keith has balls, and you always want to see that in a good Survivor player, at least, you want to see someone who's not afraid to not play their idol, and get past the vote.
And I think that Keith is just very laid back. He's like calm and he's just observant. And I feel like the people that are just like all hectic and trying to play the game and like, oh, I have an idol, I have to play it right now, I'm so paranoid. Keith isn't paranoid, and neither is Wes. Like in all their, like in Wes's, one of his secret scenes or like his secret confessionals, he just says like, oh yeah, today's like the first day I actually felt like, I had to try to win immunity. Like I would have dropped out if there was food and all the other challenges. Like if this is the first day, I'm kind of nervous. Like, okay, if you're like, I guarantee you that Jeremy has been nervous literally every single second of every single day while he was on the island, which is a good thing also to have the paranoia. But I think that Keith being so laid back and just observant, it really helps him develop better, instincts.
Yeah, I mean, I really think being laid back is really, really good part. And like Big Brother, Survivor, any of those game shows, you really want to be able to be laid back, but you also want to be able to expect, like everyone's out to get you. And one of the problems with Jeremy was, since the tribe swap, he knew he was the one to go. He would have gone where Kelly would have gone. He would have gone where Dale would have gone. He would have gone where Julie, if Julie hadn't quit. And he probably would have gone if he hadn't won immunity. And for once, he actually feels safe. He actually feels like he has the numbers. And he actually feels confidence alliance. And he goes. I think he kind of got too comfortable there.
Yeah, but Keith, yeah, I agree. Keith feels, comfortable when he's supposed to feel comfortable and uncomfortable when he is on the hot seat. And it's just amazing because there's so much that Keith isn't seeing that we are seeing. But for him to be able to play the game and still have, I'm not going to say that Keith is some strategic mastermind or is a genius or anything, but he has great instincts.
I am.
You're just saying that because I traded you him and he's on your fantasy team now.
Maybe.
Okay, so let's just go to the reward challenge. What'd you think about the reward challenge? Did you like this muddy one?
Yeah, I loved it. I mean, I would have liked something a little more like, a little more bigger. I thought they were on like kind of a small little platform where like they couldn't really reach each other. I want to see them like go like full force. Thailand over like a pit of mud.
Are you disappointed that no one grabbed each other's throats in this challenge?
I mean, they would have if Clay was there, but of course they're not gonna here.
I feel like I would have grabbed a few throats if I was in that challenge. But honestly, with Clay, you can't help but choke him. I mean, you have to choke the guy.
I mean, Clay would choke Clay. Clay knows. Clay understands.
Backwoods hick. Don't want to spit in his face. Dude, Rob Z. Yeah. Is Rob Z ever going to come back and play?
Rob C?
No, Rob Z.
Z. No.
And that's a damn shame.
Yeah. Yeah, it
Okay.
is.
So I thought well, the one thing about the immunity challenge, I mean the reward challenge, is that I thought it just dragged on a little bit too long.
Hmm.
And I really like with the Missy and Baylor matchups. I'm just not into it. You
Yeah,
know, I'm into like the if it was Alec versus Drew, I'm into the brother brother matchups. But like the mom daughter thing, like Jeff's just really trying to hammer the blood versus water thing with us. But it's not fun to watch. It's yeah.
yeah. I mean, it's really not when like it seems to me like Missy's just going easy on Baylor, you know? And then Baylor takes it so seriously when like she throws Missy into the mud and then she strikes like a pose where she's like, yeah, yeah, it's like, oh my God, like come on, like help your mom up or something. At least don't be like a douche about it, you know?
Yeah, and just like I know that John hasn't won any individual challenges yet, but like you got to look at how he's done throughout all these like team challenges throughout the game. It
Hmm.
might be like the best performance someone has done in like the most consistently like winning performance in team challenges in the history of Survivor. Like
Yeah.
John has literally, yeah, he's won every single like him going against Jeremy kicks his ass. Him going up against John Rocker in the sumo challenge, kicks their ass. Like he just
Mhm.
does so good in every single challenge.
Yeah. I think that was awesome when he went up against Jeremy and like jumped over to his spot and threw him off. Um, that's what I want to see in a mud challenge. And John definitely brings like the physical entertainment to the show where we really need it.
Okay, so the team of I think it was Natalie, Jeremy, Reed, Baylor, and Alec win the challenge, and then Natalie steps down, trades her reward to John, and Jeremy does the same for Jacqueline. What do you think about this move?
Uh, I think it was good on. It was so stupid for like both of them to do it. I think it's like it's obvious that they're saying they're a pair and they're obviously like trying to like get an advantage in the game by like giving them like, oh yeah, we're showing you trust. But actually, if you reward, you have to vote with us like in the long run, and they want to use that as leverage. And I thought it was really stupid for both of them to give it up. I think they should definitely try to split up John and Jacqueline so they can't strategize together. I don't know why they gave it to both of them. I would give it to like okay, like I let Natalie give it to John, and I wouldn't if I were Jeremy, I wouldn't give it up. I would want to separate them, but
Horrible, horrible move. I mean, it's just so stupid. You never do a stupid favor like giving someone sandwiches on the back of like okay, maybe the most crowded and shittiest yacht in the history of Survivor rewards. I mean, like John was sitting on like the side of the boat. He didn't even have some place to sit. It was probably the worst yacht reward in the history of Survivor, and that's not going to get anyone's vote. It's just going to make you look transparent and fishy, and like it's not going to make you look good.
Jeff Probst is like, okay, I'll let you guys use my yacht for 30 minutes. Like drops him off on a random beach. Get off. Get off.
Dude, I missed in like past seasons. Jeff would give the survivors his own personal visa, and
Yeah.
they would go on their yacht and just give like $300 tips and stuff. Good
Yeah.
times.
I what was I gonna say? I don't like how Jeff was just able like just let him give it up. It's like no, you fucking won this. You're gonna go on this and you're gonna be happy about it. Like don't let someone just like give it up. Like that makes no sense. They lost. Like the fuck, Jeff. Like you tweeted about it. This tribe's making Jeff their bitch.
Okay, how horrible of a move is it also for them to send Jeremy to Exile Island? Like I know you don't want to send if you're trying to bring the charade up, that you don't have the idol. You don't want to send the opposing alliance to Exile Island to get a potential idol. But I feel like they should have, for sure, sent Missy. Because if Missy comes back from Exile Island and says, "Oh, I couldn't find the idol," you believe her. You're like, okay, yeah, because you're pathetic. You're a muffin. You don't know anything. But with Jeremy, it's like, okay, then one of you two has the idol. I just thought that was a bad move, and John wasn't really thinking. And I feel like that's John's game at this point. He just like panics and does something, and then tries to panic and correct. Yeah. And that's basically why he voted off Jeremy, just because he was freaking out.
Yeah. The plan was originally to vote Missy to go to Exile Island. Jeremy said in his interviews that he and Natalie talked about it, and like originally it was supposed to be Missy that was going to go. So I don't know what happened.
It was a dumb move. But anyway, so they're on reward. We don't see really any of the reward. Although there's like a secret scene of Alec being like Baylor flirting with Alec, and Alec kind of being a douche back to her. And
what did he do?
He just says like, yeah, Baylor's hitting on me. She's like sitting on my lap, but I'm just really not interested. Like, frankly, I think that she's just really annoying. But we're down in numbers, and I guess I'll just have to keep on flirting with her. So come on, girl, come over here. And then he says something like, while like Jacqueline's eating the cake or whatever, he's like saying like, oh yeah, your big ass jiggled so good in that challenge. And John is right there.
I heard about that, and like John like was like,
Anyway, so we're gonna go back to camp. Wes is just talking about how he doesn't want to be blindsided. Well, hashtag blindsided, and he's just kind of subtly planting the seed that maybe tell us if you're gonna vote us off. That'd be cool. You should do that. What do you think about that? What do you think about like Keith keeping that the idol directions in his bag? How stupid do you think that is?
That's really stupid. Like, you found the fucking idol. Why would you want any indication that you have the idol in your bag? And also like, most of like the experienced players bury their idol. He still has it in his jean pocket.
And he apparently has no idea that it's a very common thing that people search through other people's bags. He's like, has not seen any of the show, because if he did see the show, this happens like every 3 seasons. Like every other season, someone's searching through. It probably happens every season, but it's just not shown on the air because it's not important.
Mm-hmm. One of the great things about Keith that I love is I love watching him learn to play the game as he goes on. Yeah, I think that's really cool to watch, like, Keith become a better player. And I think he definitely has, like, he has something to him that I like, I feel like he has some good player inside of him, Do you agree?
For Keith, yeah. I feel like he is a strong player. I feel like his social game, like he only talks to the girls in passing. That's crazy. Like you're bored out of your mind. It's 3 days between each vote. There's literally nothing to do other than gather wood and talk to like the 5 other people. Well, because other people were at reward, like the 4 other people that were there, or like the 9 other people total. And it's just crazy that it only talks to them in passing.
That's There's also a bad part of Keith like that, I mean, also Keith's like good at challenges. I love watching Keith just like bitch slap Alec off the thing, for the mud challenge. He was just like, he just knocked him off.
Yeah, dude, like, I don't know, man. Keith is just. The thing I like about this season, the Blood versus Water seasons, is that you get this scene where like Keith is like all pissed and like spitting by the pond or something, and then Wes comes up and they're like, "We got a thief among us," and Wes is like, hot diggity doggity, I agree, and like it's just like they're like the same. Like you can see that like one's gonna grow up to be the other, and it's pretty funny.
I would wonder if Wes will play again. He'll have like his dad's mustache, like his hat.
Yeah, he'll go from being a goblin to being a walrus.
Yeah.
Everyone on this season, it's like it's a very odd like looking like it's a weird cast.
Yeah. Yeah. John looks like a Lego, like you said. I can
Yeah.
totally see his head's like so square. It's
It's
weird.
a blockhead. Okay, so can we agree that Missy's Muffin? Can we agree that Baylor's Little Miss Muffin?
Yeah.
I feel like that's
agree, except, she's far from being Muffin, Like, Baylor just doesn't do anything. Like, I feel like her mom just, like, makes all the deals, plays the game for her. It's like I want to play the game myself,
Okay, but Jack, she is the first person in the history, in 29 seasons of the game Survivor, to win an immunity challenge only with her feet. History made on episode 9 of Survivor. Jack, what do you think about the immunity challenge? It's historical. We should all get our textbooks out.
Mm-hmm.
You should write an essay on this immediately. There's just, I mean, Baylor's practically Moses. She's just the greatest thing ever. I'm a big Moses fan.
Baylor's gonna write a Survivor book on how to win stuff with your feet, co-signed by Boston Rob.
Yeah, it can be the. Wait, would it be the BR rule? No, it wouldn't be BR. What's her last name? Baylor Wilson. Wilson. I know that because of her. Yeah. Did you watch the Sticky Situation video yet?
No, I haven't still.
Oh, it's just god awful, Jack. It's just god awful.
Yeah, what I think of the immunity challenge is fucking stupid. It was so stupid. Like, I mean, that's one challenge I know if I went out there and played Survivor, I would never be able to win. Like, put me in that challenge 50 times, I would win 0 times. I'm just not good with my feet. Some people just aren't. And it's just such a stupid challenge. Like, I want to see a good immunity challenge. Every immunity challenge has been just like them standing still, doing something stupid.
Well, that's the thing. Like, I have no idea if I would do good in a challenge like that. Like, when, like, okay, like, maybe Coach has done this, but, like, when are you in a situation where you have to stack blocks with your feet, Like, no one's ever done that in their life.
And Reed was like, yeah, this challenge was made for me. I'm like, what? Like, what do you do with your feet that it's made for you? Like, oh well. I mean, what did you think of it? I thought it was.
I was surprised. Like I didn't like the actual challenge because like I don't think stacking things with your feet is that much more interesting than stacking it with your hands. I don't think that that's very interesting at all. And I don't know. The one thing that was just going through my mind that's completely irrelevant is that why don't they ever do the challenges?
Sorry, that was a motorcycle.
Why don't they ever do the challenges where they combine past aspects of challenges into one big obstacle course? And personally, I love those challenges where they combine all the different challenges, and it has to be cheap to make because they already have everything.
Yeah. I know. I like when they reuse things too. I like when they combine. I like when they mix up challenges. I like to see, physical aspects in challenges and mental aspects, and endurance or something, but like I don't just want to see them just like sitting down, stacking shit with their feet. Like, that's just not fun for me, and I doubt that's like really that great for viewers, I don't know.
It's definitely like, I mean, the thing about Survivor that's kind of different from just Big Brother is that like Big Brother, when you win a challenge, normally you're like dressed up as a big baby and you have to hold on to some mobile for like an hour or something. Like you look ridiculous and it's not badass when you win it at all. The thing about Survivor, it's like it's supposed to be badass when you win a challenge. Like when Spencer comes in after, well, the slide puzzle was obviously badass, but like when he keeps on trying to pull out the lever from the counting lines, and he tries over and over again and finally gets it. Like these are like badass challenges where they're like literally like pushed to their physical, mental limits, and then you see them succeed, and it's a huge moment. But for this, it's just like, oh yeah, you won a memory challenge, like you're so badass, or you won a fucking like holding up the reins on in bouncing a ball challenge, or you stack stuff with your feet challenge. It's just like it's not very badass when the person wins, and that's what you want to see on Survivor. You want to see people jumping over things, untying stuff, and that doesn't have to be just for the reward challenges. I feel like they're trying to make it like too fair to the point where it's literally just like a coin flip challenge, like it's random who wins.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like it should appeal to maybe something physical at the beginning, maybe something mental at the end, or maybe something more endurance based. Not just something like, oh, like today we're going to be like, how many like licks does it take you to get to the center of this Tootsie Pop or something? Like something absolutely stupid. As you can see, I'm very heated on this topic.
How many looks would it take to get to the center of a Tootsie Pop? Who would win that challenge?
Oh, God, I don't know. Who would win that challenge?
You have to use your feet.
Okay. So, Baylor, the only thing I liked about the immunity challenge is that I was expecting Reed to win, but he didn't. So I guess I was surprised, which is something that's good for any challenge, I suppose. It's kind of nice when you're surprised. Although I didn't really like Baylor winning immunity because I just didn't like. I don't know. I wasn't digging it too much.
Baylor sucks. She straight up sucks. She sucks. I don't know. She's bad, dude. I don't have fun watching her. I get angry. I'm like, just play like. There's so much she could do, but she just doesn't do. I want to see her be a good character. I really do, but she's just not.
Yeah, I feel like
Missy more than her.
Yeah, I feel like having cheerleader and like cheerleader mom and stuff. I don't know how different they must have been in casting, but they're just really boring on the show.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, I don't feel like any of the women are getting a very good edit. Do you feel like Jacqueline has a good chance of winning? Because I feel like she's actually she's doing okay. And Jeremy was saying that he thinks that Jacqueline's playing a better game than John is.
Yeah, I agree with that. I definitely agree with that. He said John has a good heart, but he can't put that out of the game. And I feel like Jacqueline really steers John where he should be going. I feel like she really uses John as a shield. And who knows? Maybe she was the one that was, because John and Jacqueline talk a lot. Maybe she was the one behind getting Jeremy out. Jeremy said he wanted to get Jacqueline out 2 votes. So that he could have John all to himself. And as weird as that sounds, but he really wanted to use John as a shield. And so maybe Jacqueline saw that. John saw that. They got him out when they should.
Do you feel like it was just fast forwarding to the pre-tribal strategy and tribal and Jeremy getting voted off? Do you think that it was a good move or it was too soon for John and Jacqueline? Or just one or the other?
You mean to get Jeremy out?
Too soon to kick Jeremy off.
Yeah. I thought it was for John and Jacqueline. Do I think it was a good move?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, for Jacqueline, I could see it as a good move. For John, I don't see it as a good move. I see it.
What about for Muffin and Baylor?
No, because then they lose Natalie too. So, they don't really gain anyone. They don't really have Reed on their side because Reed hates John and Jacqueline, and he really doesn't want to work with them. So I feel like for Missy and Bailey, it was kind of a lose-lose.
I feel like Missy and Baylor. I don't. I feel like they shouldn't want to go to the end with Natalie or Jeremy or John and Jacqueline. I think their best bet would be like going to the 5 with someone, like with another pair, like maybe John and Jacqueline or something, and then pulling the 5th person, which would ideally, if they were playing a strategic, like smart game, they'd want to bring Alec to the end, because I feel like even Missy and Baylor could beat Alec.
Yeah. How sad would that be if it's Missy, Baylor, and Alec in the end, and Alec wins? That would be sad.
I feel like that would actually be hilarious. I would appreciate that. I'm not really rooting. I'm not rooting for anyone this season, but I feel like it'd be hilarious. What if Alec pulls off a mask and it's actually Drew?
Mind blown.
He is a badass.
They're like the same fucking person. Like, there's no difference in them, except maybe Drew was funny when he did it, and Alec just comes off as a giant fucking douchebag.
Dude, I miss Drew so much. I miss him so much. I want him on this season.
Drew was like the Devin.
Now.
Drew was the Devin of this season. He kept it entertaining.
Yeah, but even with Devin gone, you had some people. You had Zach, obviously, bring a lot of good moments. But just like the only thing that's like a running joke from this season. Last season Tony gave us a ton. Spy Shacks, the Llama talk, everything throughout the whole entire season. But for this season, Drew was the only one that gave us really anything substantial, like anything funny to, like that. Basically I'm a badass thing. Like that was hilarious. And I just think that people have to start realizing that. They're on Survivor. They can be funny. They don't even have to, do a bunch of stupid stuff around camp, but they can at least try a little harder in their confessionals,
Yeah, I agree. I mean, try a little harder in confessionals. No one likes to try hard, though. But yeah, I mean, I don't know. I mean, they are what they are. Sometimes you just get sucky characters that just, can't really contribute to anything. For example, Wes. But, besides looking like a goblin. But, yeah, I mean, it would be nice to see characters.
Okay, and by the way...
I think Tony just makes us... I think Tony just makes us expect too much, He really ruined our expectations. He spoiled us too much with entertainment.
Yeah. Oh, and by the way, everybody, you can follow us on Twitter at @TalkLllama. And one of my latest tweets was showing Wes's vote, and it was like bead, and then he couldn't it looked ridiculous. He spelled out bead, but then crossed it out with an R. He couldn't spell read. I don't know. Wes is certainly something.
Maybe Jeff read it and it's Bede. Who's Bede? Wes is Bede. Jeff has to change it for him and then read it again.
So I kind of forget what was on the scenes for the next episode. Was it? Oh yeah, it was basically them targeting John. Do you think that John's actually in trouble next week? Because I feel like a lot of whether or not we're going to say, it was a horrible move for John to get out Jeremy. It's result. It depends on the results.
Yeah, it really does.
Because if John survives this next vote, then it is worth it, because then most likely he'll be in an alliance of 5 with 9 people left. So theoretically, it's a good move because he can get to the end. But if he gets out next, then we'll definitely say it was a bad move.
Well, I mean, he does have an idol. That's the thing. And unless Missy or Baylor is either kept out of it or want to get John out, I don't really see it being that bad of a move. But I can really see people coming after John now, though. I really do, because That's so stupid. Like even Jeremy was just trying to like knock the idea into John's brain that like we need each other. We're the two biggest guys out here. We need to watch each other's backs. As long as you have me, people are looking at me and not you. You know, and the same thing goes for John. And it really didn't. John just didn't. He couldn't grasp that. And I really think it will backfire on him in the end.
Do you think
That's
Reed
fine.
has a chance of winning?
I do. I do. I think Reed's in a really good spot right now if Natalie wants to go against John or Jacqueline and she takes the guys group. Reed's in the flip vote then.
I
And
feel like I think that we're gonna. I don't think this season is gonna be as interesting. I think that we just like might get our hopes up because of this huge blind side. I don't think there's gonna be much more going on for the rest of the season because when you look at the people who make the final three, they have some type of consistent edit the whole entire time, and I feel like we're looking at like Missy Baylor and maybe John or Jacqueline, like one of those two final three, because like Baylor, we haven't been getting much from her, but what we've gotten from her was periodically consistent of maybe a third place person. Missy, we've been getting a lot of, and I feel like it'd be crazy if like Keith, Wes, and Alec made it to the final three. That'd just be the funniest final three ever.
I can see Baylor definitely making it to the end. Yeah, I could see Missy making it to the end too, but I think it's pretty much a lock-in right now that Baylor's going to make it to the end. I don't think she'll win, but I think she's going to make it to the end. And I think I kind of get winner vibes from Keith. But, I mean, he's
John's by far getting more winner vibes, though. Because why, like, okay, one, like, if I feel like if Jacqueline was going to win, they would mention her not having a uterus and turn it into, like, a huge, sad thing to build her character. Okay,
yeah.
And the thing with John, like John's dad, I just feel like that's such a such a winner's edit thing, and there has to be some scene of him in the final four saying that like, oh, I just have to win this for my dad. Like they're gonna come back and he's gonna be crying and then he's gonna win. I could just like see it happening already.
I
hope that's not the
disagree.
case.
I disagree, but we'll see
How
who's
do you,
ready.
I mean, I know it's your opinion. I know you want Keith to win because he's on your fantasy team, but like, it is
I
kind
know
of.
you want John to win because he's on your fantasy team.
No, I'm saying no. I'm not saying John. I'm not saying I want John to win. I want it to be more interesting than that because I'm just saying that John's getting more of a winner's edit than Keith.
Yeah,
Because
I mean,
Keith hasn't been getting any emotional stuff, really any personal stuff, and I feel like they've just been showing him a lot because he does have an idol, and they do have to kind of give some background, like if he's going to play it or not, and they have to stir up some drama in the vote that's between him and someone else a lot. So I feel like they're not doing a lot of unnecessary footage of Keith while they're doing a lot of unnecessary footage of John.
I mean, I can see that. Yeah, I can see that. I just.
And I would love. I want Keith to win also.
Yeah,
That
I
doesn't
know.
mean
I mean, he's the underdog, you know. I feel like he's got everything going against him. I feel like he does have a somewhat positive edit beyond the Mimi idol, you know. And I don't know. I think there's something else there, but I can see what you mean with John. I definitely see that.
Who do you think like is in the safest position? Do you think Natalie's actually on the hot seat for next week, or do you think she's going to be safe?
It would be smart to get Natalie out because, you know, if you have a pair like that, you know, Jeremy and Natalie were tight. You're going to want to, like, once you take a strike, you're going to want to finish it. You know, you're going to want to get Natalie out. And I think it's stupid because they, like, took 2 strikes, you know, with Josh and with Jeremy. And so they have 2 people coming against them, Reed and Natalie. And I don't know. I think Natalie it would be smart for them to get her out, but I think she's gonna be safe. I don't know.
I think that the smartest thing for Missy Baylor, John, and Jacqueline to do would be to get Natalie out and then like get Reed out.
Yeah.
And just keep, you know, Wes, Alec, and Keith in the game. Like they both have like maybe try to get a lot like make Keith paranoid so he plays the idol to flush it out, but then vote out Reed or something.
Yeah. Um, and one thing I like about Keith, he's not hesitant to like use his idol on someone in his alliance to like, try to get numbers down. And that's a good thing about Keith. But talking about Jeremy, one last thing about Jeremy though, I think his real downfall is kind of his ego, kind of like coming back from Exile Island, he has to like let everyone know like, oh, I didn't find the idol. Like I know John has the idol. I'm smart enough to find the idol. I know he doesn't have it. Sorry, stupid hospital. I live next to. But and why wouldn't you just like come back to the island and be like, man, I looked everywhere. I looked everywhere for it, and like I can't find it. Like I have no idea. I'm sorry, guys. Like I really wanted to bring this in for our alliance, but like I couldn't find it. And like just go to sleep. Just rest it off. Because I felt like he was just so exhausted from Exile Island, and just like don't try to rub it in John's face. Don't be like, oh yeah, I know. Like I looked everywhere. I know someone might have the idol. It's like why would you do that? Like I just played off like I didn't find it. I didn't know anything about it. And like just keep that in the back of your mind that John has the idol. Like keep it to yourself.
Yeah, why confront John and be like, dude, like you have to have it. You have to have found it. Because all you have to do is like be like that's a piece of information that you have, and you should keep that close to yourself. You shouldn't just like reveal your cards too quickly. You should be like, okay, I know he has it. I'm gonna play cool. I know he's a liar. I know he's totally fooling me, but I'm just gonna like try not to let him know that I know he's a lying bastard. Because that's the game of Survivor, and I could be like, okay, you're lying. I'm out. Like, no, you're not supposed to do that. Like, you're supposed to play it cool. Otherwise, if John gets any inclination that a guy like Jeremy is after him or doesn't trust him, John has to cut him. He has to vote him off.
I know. It was Jeremy brought it on himself, and I don't know why he played it like that. I think it's his ego or something, where it just has to be like, oh, I'm this smart. I'm smart enough to find the idol, but I didn't find it. I know you have it. It's like, just play stupid for a bit,
He does have a huge, huge ego. And like in his Ponderosa videos, Josh was saying like, I bet you that Reed was, I'm positive that Reed was one of the people that voted you out. And, which is true, Reed did vote him off. But Jeremy's like, yeah, Josh is saying that Reed had something to do with me going home. Reed, like, doubt that. Like, Reed sucks. Like, fuck Reed. Like, Jeremy, like, you made it in 10th. Like, you're not some god. I feel like he was a great player. He was a good player. Yeah. But I feel like he definitely had a big ego. And he's like, oh, yeah, I could see my way to the finish line. Like, I could see myself getting to the final three. I feel like if Missy and Baylor and Natalie had any type of brain, they wouldn't have let Jeremy get close to the final three. They would have voted him off well before the final five. Probably like final 7 or 9 would be someplace where you have to get rid of someone like Jeremy.
Also, did you know that Jeremy thought Natalie voted him out?
Yeah, because Natalie's like, oh, I'm so sorry for voting you out, Jeremy.
Yeah, no, she just said sorry.
I know, she just said like,
she's like,
yeah.
Yeah, I think she was sorry because she's like, I'm sorry, like you're voted out because I know how much you want to play this game. So you got the inclination that was like, oh, sorry for voting you out, And,
I feel like she should not have let him get that impression.
Yeah.
I feel like she should have said, "What the fuck, Missy," a little bit louder than.
Yeah. Missy.
You know what Missy should have done? She should have been like, "What the fuck, Natalie?"
Yeah. 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 I mean, now that like our two narratives are gone, it's really hard for me to tell where this game's going. I feel like people take a lot different like approaches to the game now. Now that we like our two strongest winner edits are gone. Like what's gonna happen? If Josh was there, he could be like, oh, he's probably gonna take Baylor to the end as a goat, and Jeremy was there, he'd be like, oh, he's gonna take Natalie and stuff. But now we have no idea like what's gonna happen, and it's
I
really
feel like the
interesting.
best. I feel like the best next step for John and Jacqueline would be to get Natalie out because she's like you can see in the scenes the next episode she's digging everywhere. She doesn't give a fuck and she's going crazy. So you have to get that wild card out. And I feel like Reed is someone they also would need to get out just because
I mean,
Reed has proven that he's kind of well he needs to be a desperate player in the game, but he's playing really hard and like I feel like he was playing hard at the very beginning of the game, and I feel like
Jeremy,
when they don't need Reed, they should cut Reed.
Jeremy said, like back on the old Hoyopa, they had to like calm Reed down like all the time because like he's just so I think he used like the word like spastic or something. Like he just plays too hard, and it's funny like that like when Reed and Josh got together finally like during the merge and tribe swap, like he was able to calm Reed down, and Reed was actually able to like play a somewhat settled game. But now that Josh is gone again, like Reed just like plays really hard and stuff, and I don't know. We'll see. We'll see how that takes him.
Okay, do you think this is probably the best in terms of game players, the best first two members of the jury?
Well, what was it? Last year it was Sarah and Morgan, right?
I think you have to give it to Sarah and Morgan though.
I
They're just
mean,
so great.
they're so good. No, I think Regis and Aris are better.
Yeah, I'd give it to RCV. RCVs are cooler, also. um,
I think they're smarter players, but I think that Jeremy and Josh are really, really like compelling, great characters that I really want to see again. I think they're close. I think they're about tied with Regis and Aris.
so going back to like the episode one, how they did like the preview for the whole rest of the season, like this season on Survivor, we're gonna spoil everything. I think there's a few things that haven't happened yet, right? There's like the thing I like watched it like recently, with like John saying like we're gonna take whoever has the idol and we're gonna burn it or something. He says that, and also Keith says like I've done the stupidest thing in Survivor history.
Yeah. Were those voiceovers? Because they looked really like pretty new to the island back then, didn't they? Like, because I
I'm
know,
pretty sure, I think it was voiceovers.
yeah, because when John says that one thing, he's like sitting down with like Drew.
Yeah,
So yeah,
it's voiceovers.
yeah,
So how do you think the season's going to unfold? What are your hopes for the season? I feel like that we kind of hit a peak, and I don't I'm not that optimistic about too many more big moves happening. I feel like it's not going to get that much more crazy. I think this is probably the biggest blindside of the season. But what's your take?
I think that Crystal Cox is gonna walk into camp and tell them all to eat your rice, and they're gonna eat all the rice, and they're gonna have no rice left, and Jeff's not gonna trade with them, and then Missy, Baylor, and Alec will starve their way to the end, and they'll be the only ones alive at the end, and they'll win.
Dude, who do you actually think is going to win? Who do you what actually no, not winner. Who do you think's the final three? Give me the final three. You don't have to tell me who the winner is. What do you actually think is going to make the final three?
I'm telling you, dude, it's hard to tell right now. With Josh and Jeremy gone. I think it's gonna be maybe Keith, Baylor, and Missy.
I think I'm going to go with John, Missy, and Baylor. I think it's going to be like an 8-1 vote for John. Someone's
Yeah,
going to throw Missy a bone.
yeah. I just think think about Jeff just saying, "Oh, we have a really like, um, you know, like weird like winner this season. His comment at the beginning. I just feel Keith really fits that role. I mean, John just seems too. He seems too trusting. He seems. I don't think he's gonna make it to the end. I don't. But
When did Jeff say that they have a really weird winner?
it was at the beginning, like when he was. I think it was Dalton Ross interview or something. He said like they had like a unorganic winner or something like that.
Oh, that's weird.
Yeah.
That'd be cool. I'd be pumped if Keith won. But
Yeah.
I guess
I
we'll see how it
think
pulls out. We'll see how it unfolds.
what would you give the funniest moment to this episode?
Uh, I don't know. The last few episodes haven't been that funny. I'd give the funniest moment trophy to Keith's face when Wes says he doesn't want to get hashtag blindsided. It's actually pretty funny, Keith's face at that time.
Really?
So I'm just gonna give it to Keith.
Okay.
The hell, whatever.
Man, Keith is giving Jeff a run for his money this season. I mean, who's gonna be the funniest person this season? Jeff Probst or Keith?
I don't know. It's really not that funny of a season. It's not very funny, very strategic, really much of anything. But I'm just waiting for Survivor 30, which is
It's
apparently
not.
going to be awesome.
It's not a terrible season though. It's not
It's
terrible.
not terrible. It's pretty bad though.
It could be worse. It could be South Pacific bad. Okay. Let's be thankful here. It's Thanksgiving. Let's be thankful.
Yeah, but even in South Pacific, I liked Cochran that season. I don't even like really anyone.
Okay.
I'm not. No, it's not. South Pacific's worse. I
Yeah.
will give that. South Pacific is far worse. This is probably like pretty in the middle of the pack in seasons, maybe a little bit below par, around the middle of the pack. It's not that bad, but
Hmm.
we've had a few good seasons, and this is just a disappointment. And especially since um, it's so late in the season. It's the 29th season, and to see people playing this bad, it just kind of puts a bad taste in a super fan's mouth, you know?
Yeah. I know. It's just we don't have, that many Survivor fans. Jeremy was like a really, really big fan. Josh was a really big fan. I know Reed's like probably the only like really big fan out there right now, and just to see like him be like the only like fan that's supposed to like know the game makes you disappointed. I know.
Yeah, especially since I feel like Reed doesn't. I don't want to call Reed like a casual fan or something, but he's kind of playing like how a casual fan might think you have to play. Like, I have to do this. Like, oh, find the idol and do this. Like, I feel like they're. I don't know. It takes more charisma and more social prowess to really play a strong, dominant game of Survivor. I don't think Reed is focusing enough on trying to be calm and stable and really gain the trust of the people he's with. I feel like he's just focusing more on just like stirring up enough chaos to survive another tribal council, which is good in the short term, but not the long term.
Yeah. I mean, if he keeps it up till Final 3, I'd give him money. But
No, if Reed made it to Final 3, I would 100% give him the money. And you'd have Josh campaigning for him the whole entire time at Ponderosa, and that guy's probably pretty persuasive, and I feel like he wouldn't do it in a super obvious way also. So I feel like if Reed was able to make it to the finals, he'd definitely win, because he's such an underdog. And he
yeah,
could say, my partner, my alliance got voted off like right when we basically got together at the merge, and I was still able to fight my way through that. I was the next one on the chopping block, and I made it to the end somehow. So if Reed makes it to the end, I'm sold, and I think it'll be a great, winner. But I feel like he would have gotten a better edit the whole season if that
yeah,
actually happened.
yeah. Yeah. Oh well, we'll see. I mean,
We'll,
I
we'll see what
definitely
happens.
think this spices up the season. Jeremy getting voted out, though. I think it does, because, now we're not just going to have, like, some stupid, like, Pagani or something, Jeremy controlling the whole game. Now we actually get to see, like, characters, like, play against each other, and it should be... I think it's going to be fun. Like, at least more fun than it has been. But, I mean, the last 2 episodes have been great, but more fun than it could have been.
Are you excited to come home for Thanksgiving next week?
Yeah.
We're gonna watch some Survivor. Are we gonna do a Llama talk next week also?
Sure, if we can find time. I mean, like, I have a bunch of stupid papers that are due, like, right on, like, December 1st. Like,
dude, that sucks. I have like a midterm. Not that the Llama talk viewers care, but I have a midterm due on Tuesday, right before Thanksgiving, which isn't as bad because it's nice to get out of the way. Anyway, we'll watch Survivor next week and hopefully get a Llama talk out to you if Jack isn't too busy. If we can, it's all Jack's fault.
We could maybe do it, like, in person. That'd be cool.
That'd be cool. Okay. Okay, I'll see you next week.
Yeah.
Llama talk. Okay, bye, dude.